Welcome to sunny and peaceful Morden here in South London. Today we are doing a vehicle comparison of 4x4s. Vehicle number one is this one here. Delightful 2019 plate, Range Rover Sport, diesel 3 litre. The second vehicle that we're comparing today is the Range Rover Autobiography 4.4 litre SDV8. This vehicle has also got an SVA body kit put on it. The third vehicle is the BMW X5 2015 F15 X5M. Okay, so starting with the front design and look of each of the cars. The Range Rover Sport, it does look quite nice, it looks quite sporty. The grille that you got here, to be fair with you, it's all gone plastic these days, and you're seeing a lot of cars doing that. To be fair with you, you know what? I don't really like the plastic thing from that point of view. It might look nice, but it's not all that great. If we take a closer look, one thing we have to be mindful of, and this is not just with the Range Rover Sport, when you get your car washed, you can see these white drops of water residue. So you need to make sure when you clean your car that you dry it off properly, and that's applicable to pretty much every car with a plastic grille these days. It still looks quite sporty though. However, moving on to the Range Rover, again, to be fair with you, it's a bit plasticky. Someone has stolen the Land Rover sign. Thank you very much for that. But anyhow, you've got the actually looks quite nice in that respect. Now, this is not a standard Range Rover front. This has had the SV body kit added to it. You would be looking at somewhere between £4,000 to £9,000, £4,000 to £10,000 if you wanted to get one of these put in, and it's also on the rear side. Now moving on to the BMW. Okay, so this is a BMW X5, but it's got the MX5 or the X5M, I get confused, body kit on it on the front and the rear side, and also it actually has a lower front spoiler, which is an addition from that point of view. Now, the one downside that I see about this car when I compare it to the two Range Rovers is they've got 22-inch rims on, and this one here, for a sports car, they've put 20 inches on. You can't do that. That should be against the law. So you need 21s at least, or 22-inch rims, and make it a much more sporty look. With relation to the side of the vehicle, again, I think the Range Rover Sport looks quite nice. It's a very sporty looking car. The wheels, 7 out of 10. I've seen a lot better than that, but I've seen a lot worse in that respect. One thing I have to say to the directors and owners of Range Rover is, why are they gone all plasticky, man? What's all that about? It used to be nice metal looking thing. Now this stuff, people are going to break it off or whatever it is, making the car look a bit cheap. So I'm being honest, I'm not going to give it all roses from that point of view. So moving on to the Range Rover, okay. With apologies, we've got the tinted windows at the back on the Range Rover Sport, likewise with the Range Rover. Now, looks nice, the wheels matching really nice with the car. You've got the side step here, which comes out as you open the door. The minute I press the lock button, that will automatically go in that respect. You've got this, which is a unique feature on the Range Rover, and that really makes the side of the car stand out in that respect. And then you've got the SVO pack, which is what I've got in here. Normally, as this goes down, this little black bar, it would actually be a grey bar going across here. But with the SV kit, they take all this paneling off and they put this little black bar that goes across a little bit higher up. How much difference it makes, how much people will notice it, I don't know. To be fair with you, I didn't even notice when they replaced it, but that is what it is. So moving on to the X5. So again, you've got nice tinted windows. I think they're a little bit darker than the two Ranges that we've got here, and something that you can easily pick up on eBay for about £3 or £4, I'd say, in that respect. But yeah, it looks nice. I have to say, the BMW X5 does look quite nice in that respect. You just got a little bit of a big gap, in my opinion, with the wheels. For a sports car, it needs to look a bit more chunky.
Alright, so you tell us about the back of these cars then.
Okay, about the back sides, I think this looks really nice. Yeah, nice, sporty looking. You've got the autobiography in there. By the way, both the Ranges are autobiography. Now what an autobiography is, if you didn't know, It's just an extra £12,000 for buying your car for a little bit of a sporty body kit and a little bit of extras in.
Is it worth it?
If you're going to get a Range Rover, you're spending so much money, you may as well get the autobiography, because once people see and then you spent so much money and it wasn't an autobiography, you know what, my feeling says always get an autobiography. It is a lot better. It's £10,000 well spent, £11,000. So, you know, you've got nice exhaust pipes, wide ones out there in that respect. Really does look quite nice in that respect. One advantage you've got with the Range Rovers, you can't see the rear wiper because it's hidden at the top here. So that's actually making it look really nice and discreet. With the Range Rover, it's your opinion. You've got the SV body kit, you've got the 4 exhaust pipes on the rear. Some people prefer the one on the Range Rover Sport. To be fair with you, and I'm going to be honest, I do prefer the wide exhaust pipes compared to the 4 that you got here, but still I'm not complaining. Now here you can see Range Rover is written in black. Yeah, now that is something very important, because when you see a Range Rover in black, and I did forget to mention because the Range Rover Sport has also got it in black, that's what you call the black pack. People are buying these cars and they're spending an extra £2,000 just for the black pack version of the Range Rover. Now all the black pack is giving you is Range Rover lettering in black and a couple of black strips around the car.
Well, it may give you something extra on the weekend, you never know.
Maybe it does, but it makes it stand out. And those that know when they see a silver Range Rover sign compared to a black Range Rover sign. They know he paid £2,000 more. That's it. So going on to the BMW X5 M Sport. Okay, so it's got nice exhaust pipe. It's got a diffuser on the bottom, bit of a sporty body kit, the M5 body kit on it. Okay. One downside: why are BMW not copying Range Rover's intelligence, and why making this show? Stick it up there, let it come down, and it will look really nice from that point of view, and so on. Apart from that, it looks quite nice. Let's take a look in the boot. Range Rover Sport. Press the button.
Make sure you don't knock yourself out.
Okay, so you've got quite a lot of space in here. Okay, this particular version is a 7-seater. So here is seat number 6 and here's seat number 7. How they come up, you just press the button over here, and if I press the right button, you'll see it coming up automatically. Likewise the second one. This one you will just unclip it and take it out, obviously if you've got people sitting there in that respect. Okay. The one downside I would say, I can't even say it's a downside, to be fair, because it's a luxury to be able to have 7 seats in the back in the car, but well and truly these back seats here, they're only going to be for kids, because when I took a number of people out, I could only fit kids in the back there, and even then they were complaining about their knees rubbing against the first row seats here in that respect. So it's still nice to have. And also, I don't want to forget to mention, but this is your armrest, your headrest, sorry, that would flick out. Once you get this out, it will come up here, and obviously you've got protection for your head in that respect. So you've got all the electrics here in that respect. And you can also, if you're going to load, if you're going to put things in your car, your groceries or something like that, you can actually lower. You see that? It was already low, but if it was already at this height, then you can lower it down, and it helps you to put your valuables into your boot. It's like a little bit more easy in that respect. Okay, moving on to the Range Rover. Again, similar, press the button down here.
It's a bit quicker at opening, isn't it?
Okay, so first thing I don't like. This took me a while to figure it out. Come on, Range Rover, Land Rover, I'm sure you can do better than that. And so on. But comes with an optional extra. You've got a fishnet here that keeps your things. You can't have too much water, by the way. So this fishnet, it's an optional extra. You're not going to get it in every Range Rover. It's £80 for a fishnet. I'm sure you can buy one at a pound shop. Probably won't fit, but anyhow. So you've got this one here, and this will come down here. This is purposely made for you to sit here and have your picnic and your sandwiches. So it's very sturdy and very strong in that respect. So you've got loads of space in that respect. The seats, the first row seats there, you can control them from here. You can actually make them go back a little bit and forward a little bit more in that respect. Okay, so you've got the controls like in the Range Rover Sport. They were controlling the second row seats. These will only control the first row seats. There are no second row seats here in this car. So moving on to the BMW X5, the same, similar. You've got a button here that you press. Nice family car, as you can tell. Lots of water in there, healthy living. Okay, so what I don't like is when you've got the electrics and the range, you've got to go mechanical on this. But you can, I've been led to believe, sit on this. Now I'm quite light, so I can risk it. But I'd like to see someone a bit more heavy sitting on this to see if it's going to hold its weight. Probably will in that respect. But it's a nice picnic bar. Picnic something for you to eat your food or something like that. Have a nice snack. Oh, this is what I prefer. It's the same in the Range Rover Sport. Why didn't they just keep the Range Rover with one of these in that respect? Okay, so we're in the Range Rover Sport, the 2019 one. So as you can imagine, it's got the latest gadgets and styling and everything. Now, I really have to say, this is the best part of the Range Rover Sport. You've got 3 LCD screens, 1, 2, 3, okay? This one does not come up with the HUD, which is the head-up display, and that's where as you're driving, you normally see on your windscreen the speed that you're driving at. So you can actually, no, you don't need to keep looking down. You can just keep looking.
I speak of the Northamptonshire.
All across, you can place all your navigation, your media. You've got your standard Bluetooth as you've got in every car. Air conditioning controls are here. You've got vehicle controls in that respect. It looks really good and really nice. But one thing I would say, anyone that's going to buy this car, spend an hour before you've driven it away and just work out what everything is, because you will find it confusing. And even I got a bit frustrated because I'm driving and I can't work out how to change the temperature or put the fan on. You've got to interchange certain buttons to get things going from that point of view. Now I've worked it out, I think it's brilliant, but it takes a little while to get it worked out in that respect. Also on the steering wheel, quite nice. You've got all these buttons here. It's all electric and digital, so you can just change the volume settings. You've got your speed controls here in that respect. Okay. The seats are quite comfortable. You've got the Oxford perforated, I believe that is, and that means that you can get cooling air and you can get warmth coming out of the seat. Likewise with the rear seats, you are able to warm them, but you cannot cool the rear seats. On the upside, you've got the full length sliding roof all the way to the back. That's quite a nice feature. You're getting, I think that you get these in the majority of Range Rovers, whether it's a Range Rover Sport or a Range Rover itself in that respect. So it looks really nice. And to be honest with you, pretty much every car going forward is going to have the 3 screens on it in that respect. It looks really nice. Okay, so now we're sitting in the Range Rover, the 2015. So bear in mind, this is a good 3.5 years older than the Range Rover Sport. It does not have the 3 screens as I showed you earlier in the Range Rover Sport, but there's one lovely advantage I like in this car, which you may be able to get as an optional extra on the Range Rover Sport, but I was lucky enough to get it on this one. This here is called a dual screen, and it means that you can see the TV from that angle, so the passenger can see the TV, but I can't see the TV, I see the sat-nav. So, and this is an amazing, lovely feature I like in this car in that respect. So everything is very comfortable. The other thing I really like about this car compared to the Range Rover Sport is the seats are so much more comfortable. And it's the internal luxuries and the general styling of the car that makes this car so much more expensive than the Range Rover Sport. Now the Range Rover Sport is already a good 60, 70, 80,000 pounds, but this one, it's the luxuries that you're paying for that make it worth a lot more in that respect. So you've got all the AC. All 4 seats can be, the front and rear seats can be cooled and they can be heated. You've got your 2 cup holders here, same in the Range Rover Sport. You've got a refrigerator in here. If you lift it up, it's a refrigerator. You just turn it on and you've got the electric to keep things cool. I did forget to mention that's also in the Range Rover Sport as well. So these seem to be becoming a standard in the Range Rover range. So we've also got the really long window. I'm calling it a window on top of the car. And the sound system in this car is second to none. I've had quite a few cars and the sound systems I'm so used to high standards of these, but if we go to the radio, and you've got so many speakers around this car. Even on the back of the back seats, you've got speakers here, and these are special extras in that respect. So it is the best sound quality I've ever heard in such a beautiful, lovely car here. So now in the interior of the BMW X5, to be fair with you, a lot of it is kind of standard BMW. So if you've got a 7 Series, a 5 Series, a 3 Series, a lot of it will look similar in that respect. So if you're going to move from one BMW to another and you're going to upgrade to get an X5, you know, you'll feel quite comfortable because you'll be used to quite a lot of the settings and how things are in that respect. So first thing I like about this, I like the way this is styled in that respect, the screen here, and it's slightly angled towards the driver for the driver's visibility and convenience. And so if the sun is shining, it's hardly going to reflect back onto the driver. One thing that is a bit of a downside to this car is as you're driving the car, well, not if you're driving the car, but as you get in the car, where your steering wheel is, the on-off switch is right there, and you can't see it because this is in your line of sight. So you need to kind of figure it out where it is and come and press it. But again, that's a minor. It's not really a big deal. In this particular version, you don't have the sunroof or the sliding roof in that respect, but you can get that as an optional extra on the X5. Apart from that, you know, the seats are reasonably comfortable, a bit more firm, but again, it's a little bit of a sportier car in that respect. So, Range Rover, not the Range Rover Sport, the Range Rover. Feeling a little bit tired, want to relax a little bit. I'm in the back seats. Just got to press a little button here. Nice. Good night. Okay, we're getting close to the end now, so I think let's just do a quick 360 around each car, have a nice look from each angle as to how it looks. As we're doing that, I'd like to introduce you to Mr. BMW expert, Mr. Hamad. Okay. He thinks he thinks that all the BMWs X5s are a lot better, so let's hear what he's got to say.
Well, the X5s are quite nice, but
well, let's just bring up reliability. What do you reliable, like is this thing reliable? It's going to last you ages.
I've had 4 Range Rovers, never broken down once.
Your last Range Rover broke down so many times that you had to take it back to Range Rover and tell them like you need a refund. Is that correct?
No, but that was a one-off fault which they repaired under warranty.
Well, Range Rover always have electric
Okay,
faults.
he's right. It did have a fault, but it was a minor fault.
Man is
But
always
I've
right.
not had any problem with any other Range Rover.
can we get back to the cars, guys? Come on.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay. So
Yeah, I would say car is good looking. It's a very decent looking car, and it's got a sporty look. So it got a look to sell you itself. But I'm more concerned about reliability and the functionality and like durability. If comparing this to an X5, I would 100% go for an X5 because
it's half price.
it's not about half price. Let's say it's even half price. They're charging you for something that is not reliable. Then yes, I would definitely go for an X5. But comparing the X5 to this Range Rover, 100% I would love the look of this Range Rover in the X5 or the X7, because this is like a supreme luxury car.
But Hamad, don't you think the front looks a bit bulky?
Yeah, front is okay. I'm more concerned over the back. It looks like a big mama walking down the road with a big fat ass. So yeah, it's a big car, but obviously it's got the looks.
It's heavy on petrol, by the way. 4.4 litre. You can get this as a 3 litre. Okay, like with your big X5, you can get a 5 litre, 3 litre. Yeah. With the Range Rover Sport, you can get 3 litre, 4.4 litre, 5 litre.
I'm not sure how much mileage that car does. Obviously, this does more. My car is a 3 litre diesel, and it gives me 31 miles per gallon. So, yeah, which I think is quite
practicality.
Quite
this may be save you a bit of money every year in that respect.
And my friend over here also brought up the tires. That the tires are 20 inches, but look at the width of the tires. You're more concerned about your drivability, maneuverability, and if the car is stable. The front tire itself is the same width as its both tires. 275, 275.
So which one gets the power down to the floor better, guys?
I believe so, 275, the smaller tires. Because they're wider, they've got more grip.
I gotta say, one thing that I like about the Range Rover is that you got that dual screen capability.
Yeah.
Does the X5 have that?
No, it's got a split screen. It's
Split screen, S-P-L-I-T. He was trying to say off camera that it's also got the dual screen, and I had to explain to him what a dual screen is. It's the same one screen where depending on different angles, you will see something
The thing
different.
is, I'm paying 40,000 for a car. I'm paying something less. So I'm getting more reliability out of my money and more like life longevity, you can say.
And that's the reason why he got the last 3 letters of his number plate. That. There's no way. I don't know how you can argue to say that that piece of rubbish is going to be better than this. How does that make sense?
Okay, let's bring the issue up about uniqueness. How unique is your car?
My car is so unique, because it is not only an on-road vehicle, it's an off-roader, and you've got 5 or 6 different settings depending on the kind of terrain that you're driving on. Whereas yours is a 4x4, but it's not even for off-roading. So what was the point of it being a 4x4?
That's not uniqueness. Uniqueness is like how much car you do see this on the road. Just go down South London. Every corner you turn, you see a Range Rover. Every corner you turn, see a Range Rover.
It's true, you see a lot of Range Rovers outside Morley's and Chicken Cottage.
Thank you. That's because for a car that's double the price of an X5 and more people are buying the Range Rover, there's a message in that.
That's not called uniqueness. That's called like anybody can buy it, they can drive around, but there's no uniqueness to this vehicle. This vehicle is unique because it's a self. You buy this car to drive around the city. You don't like buy it to just do off-roading. For off-roading, there's different vehicles. You ain't gonna take this car off-road.
You know what? Not this particular one, but the one I had before, the red one, I was driving down the country lane and it was flooded. And for me to get through the road, number one, I had to raise the level of the car, pressing one button. Then I pressed the button that helps you to go through muddy waters. And so your car wouldn't have any of those kind of settings, so I can get from A to B and go through C, which is a difficult situation.
I tell you, while he was driving through that water, like whatever that like flooded area is, I can bet you 100% out of 100, 50 or 60 of those Range Rovers would have broken down with an electric fault.
I doubt it, but I tell you what, every other car had to turn around. I was the only car that just went through and was able to carry on in my journey. They're the benefits. So, but second of all, is fair enough. When you're looking to decide a car, there's a number of factors you think of. Number one is the price. Number two is the interior, the comforts, the reliability, and also the exterior styling. Now,
what about your wing mirrors on the Range Rover? They look a bit chunky, don't they?
They are so chunky, so you've got big mirrors, but both these Range Rovers, the Range Rover and the Range Rover Sport, they've got the warnings that flash up on your windscreen mirror that if a car's coming up on your rear side, thank you very much, it will warn you and let you know. I suppose you can get them as an optional extra on the X5 as well. Not that I see many of them in that respect.
Who would you prefer, a big mama with a fat ass driving with her ears like this, or a person with a beautiful ass with normal looking ears, like driving on the road? Like, who would you prefer to see?
I'm afraid your interpretation of a beautiful ass is like, I can't see it. I can't see it.
What's this?
That's what people pay for.
That's not what you pay for.
That's what people pay for.
That comes with
If
it.
someone was to buy this car, 2019 right now, £120,000. There's a reason for that. Someone was to buy this car brand new right now, what is it, 50, 60?
No, it's 70 something.
70 something. Oh, fair enough. Yeah, so BMW is trying to get more money out of it from that point of view. But double the price, and you've got 5 times more of these on the road than these. Why is that telling you?
Range Rover is just charging for this thing. They were just charging you for this badge.
Oh, and all the electrics. And
Yeah, the electrics that keep failing, the parts that keep failing. BMW, rightfully, they charge you for their brand, but they also give you that brand value. It's like you buy an iPhone, which is made for $5 and being sold for $100. It's the same thing.
I think
they're doing the same thing.
I think you're forgetting one thing. Before I had the Range Rovers, what did I have? Thank you. I had one of them. So I know it. The driving of it is so rough. Yeah, fair enough. It's a nice BMW. Yeah, and for a 4x4, it's a nice car. But now that I've experienced 10 out of 10, I am genuinely the one that can do the comparison.
But didn't you have a 2002 X5 when this is a 2015?
Yeah.
That's a different generation, T.
That was the first X5, thank you very much. What about the second X5?
I agree, this ride may be a bit smoother, but you're paying for a luxury car. It's supposed to be smoother. If it's not smooth for paying like that much money, then that car is crap.
Okay, what do you think? You tell us. Range Rover, Range Rover Sport, or the BMW X5? So put down your comments and let us know. And whoever loses this little, well, he's already lost it anyway. But I mean, just to prove the point, just so that he knows.
I bet you he's gonna put down in the comments whoever like votes for the Range Rover, he's gonna give a $5 to them. I bet you.
Make sure you give me my $5 afterwards, yeah?
Well, thank you very much for watching on this unique South London 4x4 extravaganza. I hope you found it entertaining, educational and helpful to help you make your decision to get your Range Rover.